So I like to say not everybody has a diagnosis, but we all got issues.
Before we get back into the conversation, just wanted to welcome everyone back to Black Culture Talks. I'm Kim, aka Kim with the Gems. Stay till the end where there's more information about our guest speaker, Nakita, and other free resources for mental health.
So I like to say not everybody has a diagnosis, but we all got issues. And so what having an issue is just having a life experience that is beyond our current skill set to be able to successfully navigate it. I prefer to work with culturally competent clients. So I hear a lot of horror stories of like black therapists who service white clients, and some of the engagement is disrespectful. Some of the things that they have is disrespectful. And if, for me, as somebody who is in service of my clients, and I work collaboratively with my clients, we have to be aligned value wise. And so not everybody likes me. I don't like everybody. I don't take everybody. And that's just, how it is. Also, therapy is very intimate, right? People come to tell me things that they don't tell their families. They don't trust with their best friends. They don't tell their partners. And everything ain't for everybody. So if you sit with me in a 45-minute session and you don't like me, or we're not a good fit, or whatever it is, if you listen to my podcast and I'm too direct for you, it is what it is. I'm gonna be the kind of person that I'm gonna be, but I'm not everybody's cup of tea. But I'm somebody's shot of Hennessy sometimes. So that's how I look at it.
I love it. I
Uh,
love it.
But I also have a large network of therapists that are therapists of color who I can refer them to. So it's not like you come to me and I'm not a good fit for you, or you're not a good fit for me, and that's where the conversation ends. We could definitely, I am a resource, and being a resource doesn't cost me anything. So, reach out on my social media networks. People ask me questions all day over there. If just don't get too personal, because HIPAA and social media don't go together.
Right.
Um,
Right.
but yeah, just reach out. Like, I'm always in the community. I answer all of my emails myself. If you want to know what it's like to engage with me in any kind of clinical space, Black Therapist Podcast, you can go on there. I have like a sample um, session that I did with Mouse Jones is on the website. So that's one, Black Therapist Podcast, and I'm also Black Therapist Podcast on IG, so blacktherapistpodcast.com. And if you want to reach out to me for anything, I do events, I do speaking, I have coaching sessions and package. I'm really really good at like marketing and business strategies. So
Okay.
if you want to work with me over there, NikitaBanks.com is the place to go for that. So NIKITA Banks.com.
Okay. And I guess I was leading to the website because I also know you have a shop on your website as well that has some really cute accessories, T-shirts with sayings and things like that. So please check out Nakita's website at the Black Therapist.
Everything is linked. So if you go to
Okay.
blacktherapistpodcast.com, you'll be able to find my website from there as well. So
Okay.
and the
With that,
and the
go
and,
ahead.
and the book it's about all interpersonal relationships and how we guide it. I think that there's this misconception that we're supposed to know how to navigate relationships, and we learn that skill set from the family that we have of origin. So if we're in a family where there are dysfunction or problematic relationships, like myself, my father was narcissistic. So growing up with somebody who have specific trauma related mental health disorders, you learn certain habits, and a lot of those things are unhealthy. And so what the book is a guided workbook that I felt like if my clients wanted to do some extra work, they could go through the workbook and answer some questions, and then be able to come to me with some of the work half done, and we could kind of explore it. But you don't need to work with me. You could just kind of write out your answers in the workbook. And if you have a therapist, it's best to kind of go through some of the stuff with, because it can be very, very heavy to start to examine how you ended up in, making unhealthy choices in your relationships. And a lot of us, again, are very uncomfortable in our discomfort, and we learn to stay that way.
Yeah.
And so if you just want to be radical about learning how to gain different skills and, you know, focusing on yourself without being seen as selfish, or,
Right.
you know, bucking cultural norms to be able to take care of yourself first, which is not what Black women are usually taught. It's not really what Black people are taught.
Right.
Society doesn't really, they don't cater to that. That we should actually care about our own selves and our own well-being, being at the expense of anybody else's discomfort. And we're seeing that. That's a conscious narrative that we're seeing right now. That, oh, Black people are being killed, but why are they marching in the streets? I
Right.
don't understand why you guys are making so much noise. Like,
Right.
we allowed
Right.
you to do this. So there's this idea that, you know, that existing and like surviving versus thriving, and we can actually be able to do both successfully. So that's really
Yeah.
what the catalyst for the book was.
Okay. And I attribute it to, or equate it to, as a traveler, when you fly, the first thing they tell you is, if that oxygen mask drop, you put it on yourself first before you even think about helping anyone else. Because if something happens to you,
You can't help
what
nobody
happens to
else.
your family?
What
Exactly.
what's your baby gonna do? What's your elderly relative gonna do if you're not there in that place? So yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, so just to reiterate, if there for some reason you're in a state that Nakita doesn't service, you do have a network of therapists that you could point them in the right direction. But I highly suggest reaching out, especially during this time. Sometimes, Charlemagne the God posted something on. I guess all his platforms today, but it's something that my mother used to always tell me, whatever traumas you don't deal with, they will ultimately deal with you. And so, even if it's something that you just are not sure about, you can't put your finger on it, stress leads to a lot of illness. Anxiety can also lead to a lot of illness. I highly recommend, taking care of it now before it takes care of you. And so, with that being said, did you have
And
something to say?
you don't know what you don't know. Like, you can only operate from a space of your own active consciousness. So if you are uncomfortable or you're feeling discomfort right now, those feelings are supposed to be to inform you that this is not it. Now, you may not know what it is, but you know that this
Right.
is not it, and you have to respect it. Get to a point where you're able to not only feel your feelings but acknowledge them,
Mm-hmm.
and ask for help and assistance to be able to interpret them. A lot of us don't have the language to call a thing when it comes to our emotions. Um,
Right.
and when we feel these feelings, we don't know what to do with them. We don't know what's appropriate. We don't know how to respond or react to it, or what we should do with it. And that's what a therapist teaches you. We're not just all diagnostics and medications. What we do is we teach you a skill set.
Mm-hmm.
And my
Right.
mother did the very
Okay.
best that she could do. My father did the very best that he could do with what he had. But what he had was not enough. It just
Right.
wasn't enough.
Right. And truth be told, they were coming out of situations that we don't even know happened to them. So what type of traumas did they have to experience that they're now bringing into a family of their own?
Oh,
And
I know
so
it was a mess. What I know is a mess. So I can't. I don't even want to think about what I didn't know. Like, think about your
exactly.
own family history and all of the traumas and things that you know that your family has had to overcome, and you are still here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we are resilient people, but that
I'm
does not
sure.
mean that we do not need
So,
additional help in certain areas. And that's the point that I really want to drive home because, we still have the alpha male personality that believes that they don't want a stranger here in their business. Their, parents told them don't take your dirty laundry out in the streets. Like all of these things that have been brainwashed into us that keep us from living our best lives, the most healthy lives. And so I again encourage everyone to, seek out whatever help it is that they need during these times. What could they expect when they contact you?
so I work with both individuals and families in general therapy, from diagnosis to just people with life issues. And so Right now I am seeing clients um, with what insurances am I taking? I take Cigna, I take Blue Cross Blue Shield, I take Cash, I take United Healthcare, and we'll be taking Aetna in like a few months. So,
If there's any last words that you have, Nakita, that you could share, I'd appreciate it.
I just want to touch on what you said. The biggest, baddest, blackest guys I know, they all need hugs, they all need love, they all have feelings too, and those things need to be respected. So I just hope that each of you guys are standing in your power. That you stand on the shoulders of greatness, the families that you come from, all of the things that you know, and the histories that you know about where you come from. We come from a strong line of people, and we're not going to allow this to derail us. So just do the work that you need to do in order to
Absolutely.
live the life that you need to live, so that not only are you your ancestors' dream, but you're pushing that dream forward.
And that is a perfect way to end this series. Thank you so much, Nakita. We'll be in
For
touch.
having
Um,
me.
oh, thank you. Thank you. This was so necessary, and it was the perfect way to end. I'm going to say good night, and don't forget to support Black-owned businesses.
Yes.
Good night.
Bye.
We just want to thank Nakita for that great conversation. Here's more information about her, and there'll be other information in the description box. Also, stay tuned for more resources that are free that you can find online.